You've been told a very specific story. A story of a grieving emperor, a fallen queen, and a marble masterpiece built as a monument to eternal love. It's a beautiful narrative, isn't it? It's designed to comfort and awe. But in this explainer, we're going to methodically dismantle that comforting illusion. When you look at the perfect symmetry of that glowing white marble, esoteric texts suggest that beneath those perfectly aligned floors lies a profound secret, a void that absolutely contradicts every history book you've ever read. The mask of marble is stunning, yes, but it is ultimately just a mask. So you really have to ask yourself, is the world's greatest monument to love actually a cover for something far older? This isn't just a thought experiment. Shadowy, ancient accounts whisper that the sheer scale of the Taj Mahal was never meant to celebrate a life, but to conceal a descent. We're always taught to look up at the domes, right? To admire the minarets piercing the sky. But the true architecture of consequence requires you to look down. There's a terrifying dichotomy at play here. Up on the surface, we have the monument of eternal love. But hidden just below that pristine stone lies a vast, dark void, a subterranean nexus. Hidden possibilities and ancient accounts claim that the majestic building above is merely a capstone. It's a beautiful, distracting lid placed over a sprawling infrastructure that completely defies our modern understanding of human capability. It's a structure designed not for the dead, but for something that has never stopped living.
Deep within the bowels of the structure, far, far removed from the tourist pathways and the flashing cameras, lies a truth bolted away from public eyes. Fringe researchers point to the existence of a heavy, deeply weathered stone door at the end of a shadow-filled corridor that hasn't seen the sun for centuries. And this door isn't just secured by physical locks, it's sealed by ancient warnings. It is locked tight by a very deliberate, calculated fear.
Perspectives indicate that two serpent carvings flank this forgotten entrance. Now, these aren't mere decorative flourishes. In the ancient world, the cobra was a guardian. Here, their stone eyes reflect a faint, unsettling light, acting as silent sentinels to a forbidden threshold. They mark the exact point where the world of light ends, and a direct plunge into the bowels of the earth actually begins. The air grows cold, the silence thickens, and the descent waits.
And we are talking miles, not feet, not meters, miles. Ancient accounts suggest that the spiral staircase concealed behind that heavy stone door doesn't lead to a simple basement or some royal crypt. It drops continuously, descending miles into the pitch black of the central earth. Just try to fathom the engineering required to bore a stable, spiraling shaft that deep into the planet's crust. It's an undertaking that completely shatters the established timeline of human history. So who or what requires a staircase of that massive magnitude? Well, for centuries, Indian legends have spoken in hushed tones of a race living in the deep shadows, far beneath the feet of modern man. They call them the Nagas. But esoteric texts hint that these aren't just mythological spirits. They're described as a highly advanced subterranean civilization, a specific branch of the reptilian race identified as Alpha Draconians. We're talking about beings of flesh, scale, and immense, chilling intellect.
Which brings us to a frankly chilling realization about geography. The location of the Taj Mahal wasn't chosen for its proximity to the river or for a pretty aesthetic backdrop. Theorists suggest the monument was constructed precisely where global energy ley lines converge. It was built directly over the Naga's primary access point to the surface world. This isn't a tomb, it's a nexus point. It's a transit hub for a civilization that prefers the dark, where biology and incomprehensible technology seamlessly merge.
If this sounds like a total fabrication to you, just ask yourself this one thing. Why the heavy padlocks? Why are armed guards stationed at seemingly empty stairwells? Shadowy figures in modern suits routinely bolt fresh no-entry signs to 500-year-old stone. The official narrative claims it's just to protect the structural integrity of the foundation, but you really have to wonder, what is truly being protected? The foundation of the building, or the foundation of our entire understanding of reality?
Because here is our first major revelation. The authorities aren't keeping us out to protect us from a crumbling basement. They are in direct, active cooperation with the inhabitants below. Shadowy informants suggest that high-ranking officials are fully aware of what lies behind that sealed door. They aren't preventing a curse from escaping. They're managing a highly active, functioning gateway. The silence of governments isn't born of ignorance. It's born of complicity.
Hidden possibilities suggest this gateway is strictly regulated by time. Under the cover of night travel, long after the final tourists have been cleared from those pristine gardens, the Naga race utilizes this spiraling miles-deep staircase for surface travel. Imagine electronic keypads glowing red right next to ancient stone, granting access to those who dwell in the deep, while the rest of the world simply sleeps, completely unaware of the traffic moving just beneath the illuminated marble. Once you accept the possibility of a functional portal beneath India's most famous monument, well, the scope of the dread must inevitably expand. Are these subterranean portals just an isolated phenomenon? Could this massive, miles-deep staircase truly be the only one of its kind? Cold logic dictates that a highly advanced subterranean race wouldn't rely on a single door. The Earth is far too large, and their presence far too ancient for just one entrance. We are likely looking at a global network of portals. The Earth is riddled with these ancient gateways, from the remote caves of the Himalayas all the way to the unexplored depths of the oceans. Some believe these Alpha Draconians are actually the true architects of our oldest religions, the gods who descended from above, or rather ascended from below, demanding silence, obedience, and the construction of colossal stone monuments, just to hide their transit points from the uninitiated.
We treat these monuments as objects for our observation, don't we? We travel thousands of miles, we pay the admission fee, and we peer through our camera lenses at the intricately carved masonry. But what if we are the ones being watched? What if the gaze goes both ways, and the eyes looking up from the dark are far more ancient and far more calculating than our own? What if these monuments are actually observation decks for them?
Which brings us to our second twist. Some believe the Naga race isn't merely hiding in the Earth's crust. They're actively monitoring human behavior from their sprawling base directly beneath the monument. We are the subjects of an unbroken, centuries-long observation. While we admire the beautiful architecture of the domes up above, they sit in quiet, crystalline halls down below, coldly calculating the next shift in human consciousness. Every single footstep on the marble above echoes in the chambers below.
The base below the Taj Mahal actually serves a dual purpose. First, it acts as a neutral zone. It's a gathering place where different galactic races can convene to discuss the fate of the surface world without any interference. Second, it's a site of mass energy harvest. Millions of tourists visit this site every single year, right? They emit massive amounts of emotional and kinetic energy. Unseen to the human eye, glowing lines of this energy are drawn down through the symmetrical floors, unknowingly fueling the very machinery and life forms observing them.
Consider the linguistics for a second. Is it really just a coincidence that Naga translates to serpent? In nearly every ancient culture on this planet, the serpent is the universal symbol of hidden knowledge, of DNA, and of human origins. It's the creature that offers the forbidden truth. The name itself is a profound clue, left right in plain sight, pointing toward a terrifying realization about human history and all the knowledge we've been deliberately denying. That miles-deep staircase beneath the marble doesn't just move downward into physical rock. It represents a connection to the very core of our identity. It connects to our own erased history. This shifts the whole mystery from an external anomaly to a deep, internal, existential dread. If they truly are the architects of our past, then pieces of them remain buried within us, just waiting in the dark. Which leads us to a pretty critical contradiction. If that door holds the key to our true history, why all the terrifying rumors? Why are locals and tourists alike told that opening the lower chambers would unleash a deadly curse? Why employ such visceral, primal fear to keep people away from the truth? Is it to protect the living, or is it to protect the lie?
And here is the final devastating revelation. The curse was never real. The so-called curse of the sealed door is entirely a psychological lock. It was meticulously designed to ensure we would never even attempt to look for the truth. We've been trained over generations to fear the dark places. We're taught monsters live in the basement. This conditioned fear ensures we stay in the light, distracted by beautiful marble facades, never once realizing that the dark, subterranean depths are actually the source of our origins.
The reality of the Naga race represents a part of the Earth's history that has been entirely erased from our textbooks. Yet it remains etched in stone, hiding right behind high-tech circuits disguised as ancient masonry. It's a story of long-term survival, absolute secrecy, and a deeply ancient race that is simply waiting in the quiet dark for the exact right moment to return to the surface. The door is there. The spiral staircase descends into the void, waiting. Are we truly ready to face what lives at the bottom?
The next time you look at a grand monument, a marvel of the ancient world, I want you to look at it differently. They aren't merely buildings. They are beautifully crafted lids, firmly secured over a world we have completely forgotten how to see. As we conclude this explainer, I'll leave you with one final thought. Keep your eyes open and always question the marvel.